Welcome everybody from lovely Tallinn for the SBC Summit in Barcelona. The question is, what is innovation? Some people say it's something new, it's something fast, it's something disruptive. I tend to disagree slightly. It's a bit like building Rome. You don't build Rome in one day. You start first with the aqueducts, with the sewers, with the water supply, and you build a very solid foundation. And then you must look at the whole ecosystem of that city and understand how you can gradually improve pieces by pieces by pieces. And you need to innovate in every little section that, in essence, when you put them all together, you have a very, very innovative solution, which from the outside looks fast, feels disruptive, feels innovative, but it's been a very well planned system behind what they're doing. In CoinGaming, we've always had an idea that bookmakers and casinos are not pushing the boundary, are not looking at the whole ecosystem of what they're trying to achieve. And they're happy with marketing acquisition through affiliates and the different providers and what are the games of the week and how to try and shave off points for your suppliers, payment processing, how do you improve your CRM. But they've failed to understand owning your whole technology platform gives you the opportunity to completely innovate every small value section of that process. When we launched BitCasino in 2014, of course we started like everyone else with these deposit bonuses, but we soon thought it's time to innovate here. It's time to actually understand what the problem is and what we're trying to achieve, and how do we find a solution to solve this. We come up with a loyalty program, like an airline loyalty program. The more you fly, the bigger percentage of rewards you get. Now, to make this fair, and considering fun, fast and fair is the motto of our company, of course we can pay a percentage of cashback or rebate or free spins or gifts on the amount of money you've lost. But to make it fair, if you're winning, we'll also pay you on those types of rewards on what the theoretical RTP should have been. For a player, this is unheard of. How on earth can they do that? But we all know in the long run, if we trust the mathematics, if we trust the data, in the long run we'll achieve the right, well, the maths will do its job with the RTP. So let's not piss off the player halfway through their gameplay with us. If they've walked into our house, let's welcome them and say, you play and we pay, no matter what. One of the great ones we've done in terms of an innovative concept in the casino, in sports betting you have a price boost, i.e. you've got odds of $1.85 on this event, we'll boost you up to $1.91 as a special. So we thought, why can't this happen on a casino? So now we're doing our casino boost where you get 15 minutes of a 10% price boost. If you were to bet $1 and win 5 on the spin, you're now winning $5.50. There's a countdown timer, there's a carrot. It's part of our retention program, but it really, really, really works. Back in 2016, we decided it was time to build a sportsbook. I woke up one morning and said the Euros is on the 10th of June. This is in March. Guys, we need a sportsbook. Using what we'd learned from BitCasino, we thought, let's employ the same tactics, the same strategy. Let's now understand how can we innovate by changing little bits of that product to really take it forward. Obviously for us, being a crypto bookmaker, we have double the trouble. We need to, one, win the trust of a customer that we're a safe, responsible bookmaker, but also we need to onboard customers into crypto and help them buy their crypto, teach them how to move crypto, teach them how to withdraw from crypto, and sell the benefits. But I look at it like Uber. The first time you use it, you go, wow, that was easy. Why haven't I been using this before? What have I been scared of? And once I use it the first time, next time, I'm not going to go through some elongated process to try and move money through some funky PSP, which is using some strange solution at a cost of 12.5% to the merchant in some pre-regulated markets. We're going to educate our customers to use crypto so when they win, they can be paid in 2 minutes. And that's actually the thesis of our whole business. Being a former poker player, when I win, I want to be paid. It's really, really, really simple. So we drill into our process, which is not a manual process, I must admit, where we drill into the process of how we automate our withdrawals because we can programmatically use crypto in this sense, that every withdrawal is paid within 2 minutes. And as soon as that withdrawal request is put in, we do our automated AML, source of wealth. We're doing this all within 10 seconds on the blockchain, which is pseudo-anonymous, so we can see every single transaction going on. So we can pre-screen a player and get them ready for that first withdrawal. So when that first withdrawal hits, they're taking that money out within 2 minutes. And like I said, it's either €1 or €1 million. It makes no difference. What it does mean to the customer though, is that when they do hit that big jackpot, they are guaranteed they're going to be paid, and they know that. And they're paid. Now, from our analysis, that money comes back within 6 hours, usually on a Fibonacci sequence. That aside though, the player has confidence to play with us because if they win a big bet, they will get the money. A really important part about the innovation of what we did with our sportsbook, and it's probably not innovation, but one of our cornerstones of what we did with sportsbet.io was to go and do some global sponsorship deals. We sponsored Watford in the EPL last year. We're now front of shirt with Southampton this year, and we're also on the shirt of Flamengo, which has 40 million supporters in Brazil alone. These types of deals, people always ask, what's your return on investment? And I disagree. It's a return on objective. What is the objective we're trying to achieve, and have we delivered on that objective, which may not be financial, but certainly it's building trust and reputation and strength that they're playing somewhere where they know they're going to be paid. I often say in these sponsorship meetings, we don't want to be a walking billboard. That's not us. In fact, there was an opportunity on the Watford for the sleeve. And I'm like, yeah, we'll take it. Let's put a Bitcoin logo on there. We've got the Bitcoin logo in front of 2 billion people around the world. An amazing thing to do. Cost a bit of money, but it really helped us establish ourselves. When we go back to thinking about, again, how do we improve that innovation moving forward? We like to put ourselves in the customer's shoes and actually play on our own devices, on our own sites, on our own products. We want to understand what the customer wants. We want to be a voice on the forums. We want to be a part of the conversation with the players. We don't want to force the player to play, but when they do want to make a bet for their entertainment, we want to be their first choice. We've now introduced the Clubhouse, which again, based on that loyalty program with a different front side to it, it's all about when you go to the pub and you're having a beer with your mates, we want to talk football together. We want to talk cricket together. We want to talk about that near miss. That's the important fabric of the conversation which happens in the Clubhouse. And when you play with us and you build that loyalty, we will further reward you to ensure we can be a part of that customer's life cycle for a very, very long time. Obviously with the crypto as the main token of betting, we've been able to have very, very high limits. Not only do we accept Bitcoin, but also Litecoin, Ethereum, Tron, EOS, Cardano, USDT, which is becoming very popular in Asia. Because we know it's nearly a closed loop, we understand where the player's coming from, how much money is in their wallet, what the source of funds are when they get it. We can see this in the blockchain. Again, we are pre-screening the player on that first deposit, so we know what they can responsibly afford with us. This is where we can have those high limits, and this is where I'm happy to have a gamble. We enjoy a gamble ourselves, so we'll take it, but we know when you flip that coin 100 times, we'll win it 51 times, the punter will win it 49. Our job is to celebrate those 49 times. Now I want to get to the innovation part of the CoinGaming group. We have a couple of big B2C brands which are going very nicely. When we started investigating where our main action was, we found that there were a lot of players playing blackjack and roulette and baccarat, and we were paying providers for the privilege through license fees to use their software. Upon analysing this, we thought, well, hang on, why can't we build our own software studio? And we built OneTouch. But instead of just being another game provider, we thought we want to take this further. We all love playing in those blackjack tournaments at the land-based casino. Why don't we move that theme online? We love to experiment with new different types of slot game concepts. One of the latest ones came out was a one column, one reel, one item slot. And I'm like, how does this work? Then they explained it and said, this is what we're doing and this is the mechanics of it. I'm like, wow, I've never seen that before, but guys, good, let's do it. They said, well, it might not work. I've gone, great, no matter. No matter if it doesn't work, but if we never try it, we can never fail. And if we never fail, we can never learn from failing, and we can never push the boundary because, like in venture capital, not everything is going to be a winner, but those 1 in 10 ideas can be a winner, and that can take us forward. So we love experimenting with new types of game concepts. We always want to try and continue to improve our portfolio diversification. And in fact, OneTouch, during this global epidemic, our live dealer action has really, really increased. And so I called the guys and said, I think we need a land-based studio. I think it's time for us to make live dealer. We built the studio in 1 month. We built the platform in 4 months. And we're ready to go live in 1st of October with our own live dealer product. But we will be doing it differently. We don't want to see what's already there. We want to push the boundary. We want to experiment. We want to fail and learn from that failure quickly and try and find out what engages the players. Todd from Evolution is a great example, pushes the boundary and something we always look up to him and what he's doing because I love the thought process that he's happy to innovate. And as he said, the competition is not our gaming competitors, the competition is Netflix, it is TikTok, it is Spotify. We're fighting for that time, for that entertainment. So it's very exciting to see someone else in the industry really pushing that one forward. We've also enjoyed then trying to cross over what we're doing on our B2C sites into our B2B. All of a sudden last year when we first sponsored Watford, let's make a Watford slot. And in fact, it's one of our most played games, not only on sportsbet.io, but also other operators who are taking OneTouch games as well. Simple game, but a great theme. So I'm really happy that we can start to cross-pollinate our concepts and our ideas and really get the maximum from that sponsorship deal, that it's not just a single focused ROI perspective. Further investigating our ecosystem, we thought, okay, we have a casino team of programmers who are integrating all these different providers in. But on the other hand, we wanted to build our casino boosts, our tournaments, our loyalty programs. And there was a massive debate over our roadmaps. How do we innovate here, but how do we keep business as normal here? So we thought, well, perhaps the best way to do it is to create our own aggregator, which will then sell or resell those providers back to BitCasino, back to Sportsbet, and out to the industry on a B2B level. We put a team together, we turned it around very, very quickly because we're in a sandbox. We can experiment. We have a very good customer in BitCasino who can give us the feedback we need, who can work with us when mistakes are made. So now with Hub88, we have an API which integrators can integrate into their platform in 2 days. Now others in the industry are taking 6 weeks, taking 6 months. Shouldn't be taking that long. We need to focus and dedicate time and resource to really improve this part of the business, which will improve the efficiency of our B2C product, but we can also then make money on providing this service to others as well. In terms of the technology stack, it's fantastic in Hub88. We've built an iOS app and an Android app, so as a casino manager, you download an app. There's certain KPI reports you want to read every day. There's certain times you need a notification there's been a big win, or there's been something happening, or you want to check your reports. Why people use Excel, I don't know. That's from 10 years ago. It's like sending a fax machine. I want an app. I want to know my main KPIs, everything is every single day. And when something happens, I want you to tell me about it. And this is Hub88's role, because they know they need to tell our internal brands about it for efficiency. So why can't we help others in the market? But the interesting one I like a lot, we love to take big bets. We call it the popcorn moment. Sit back with some popcorn and enjoy it. How can we help others in the industry enjoy this moment? And not everyone has the same bankroll and they can't do that. So we thought in Hub88, let's develop position taking. So if your risk level is €1,000 on a hand of blackjack, well actually, you can now tell to your player, you can put €10,000 on blackjack because we'll take 90% of the action. We'll take the other 9,000. Or maybe your risk limit is 5,000, but you've got a punter who's wanting to bet 30,000 on baccarat. The volatility may be too big for you. However, we're ready to take the action. We've built the technology in the way that we can adjust that position taking, because let's be honest, in this industry, everyone wants the whales. You need a very strong recreational database of players to pay the electricity, but the whales are the icing on the cake. But you can't turn a whale away if you've got them there. If you've caught them in your net, you've brought them in your front door, don't turn them away. Take their action, make the customer happy. So if it means using position taking, then we're solving everybody's problem. And that is what innovation is all about. Like most casinos and sportsbooks, talking to your customer is the most important thing, and how you do that. There's a lot of third-party software out there, and we used to use a few of them. The problem was we couldn't integrate data from our data warehouse into a third-party product for the live chat communication. We wanted to do our predictive analysis. We wanted to predict when we needed to push free spins to a customer at the right time, but we couldn't do that. So we built our own. We've called it comms.io. And at the moment, it's a communication app which has been custom built for the gaming industry. At the moment, we're using it in our sandbox for our B2C brands, but we're currently doing our first external integration at the moment to take this out to the industry. Where the huge benefit is, we can push our data in the anonymized format to our customer support agents, and the computer, through machine learning obviously, pushes out to our agent and says, you should give 10 free spins on Book of Dead right now, and this will increase the lifetime value. So there's a big computer behind there doing all the work, but we've still got that human element which is being delivered to the customer. All our CS agent needs to say, hey Bob, would you like 10 free spins on Book of Dead? This is before the player has subconsciously realised that that's actually exactly what he wants right now through data analysis. And he goes, thanks mate, very good, cheers. We then understand the increase in lifetime value and the second time deposit, the third time deposit based on these triggers at the right time. To further extend the capability, we're now integrating Telegram and Line for some of the Asian markets and especially the crypto markets into our comms product, because why don't we shouldn't be telling a player you must come to this site to speak to us on our terms. Our goal is to satisfy the customer. How do we innovate there? We go and say, we will be on your communication channel. And if that's Telegram, here is the official BitCasino chat. So you will then chat and be connected straight to our back office comms.io, where our CS agents are there, and they have the full history, and they can then communicate through this channel. Or it might be online, or Kik, or WhatsApp, or Facebook Messenger, or Viber. Heck, I don't use emails anymore. That time is gone. Just like we didn't use faxes since 1995, email period is finished. It's now all digital communication through these channels. So let's be at the forefront and speak to the customer where they are most comfortable speaking. The other really cool thing we're doing with comms.io is a dynamic knowledge base. Yes, you can present an FAQ and a knowledge base of every possible answer to every possible question. Might be good for Google, I understand that. But is it good for the customer? No, it's not. So what we do is dynamically understand the customer's thoughts and knowledge, understand where they are on the site, and when they first come to live chat, we are presenting them with a dynamic knowledge base about exactly what the problem might be, because we've seen they've been on the cashier for 10 seconds too long. So we preemptively push that chat to them and say, this is what the problem might be. I don't want to replace the human touch, but I want to replace the thinking behind it. And we can do this with our big data, all these funky words people are using, but this is actually just taking a small application of it and going, how do we improve this? How can we understand what the player wants through analysis, and how do we deliver that message in their preferred way of communication? Similarly, another problem, accounting software. And for all the CFOs watching this, I'm sorry, yes, it is boring, but it's very necessary. From my discussions with other gaming companies, not many companies can actually reconcile the end of month with their suppliers. I don't understand why. It's bets and it's wins, but it never seems to reconcile. We tried SAP, we tried Xero, we tried other accounting software. None of them really worked, so we built our own. Simple. We've custom built software exactly for the gaming industry, which again is taking all the data in from our data warehouse. We have our checks and balances going on periodically, every hour, every day with our suppliers. We understand and make sure that data reconciles, and then we're automatically putting it into our general ledger through our invoices and whatnot. That then means come end of month, your accounts are ready lunchtime on the 1st of the month, not the 15th of the month. We want to be efficiency. We want to let the computer do that work for us, and that is the real innovation here. Now, if we extend that out a little bit further, we have a number of different brands, companies, products. They're all using our balance.io accounting software. We also have a venture capital fund, which is invested into 44 different assets around the world. We would like them to all use that as well. In fact, we'd like all of our suppliers to use our accounting software. 2 of our investments are into banks currently. We would love it that if both parties banking in the same bank in a closed loop using the same accounting software, you know what? You can generate an invoice automatically. It can be sent automatically to your supplier or to the other side of the ledger. The money can be already pre-reconciled. It can be paid through a programmatic bank transfer. Is that not efficiency and automation at its best? That is what I believe innovation is all about. We will still have our human checks and balances on top, but if we can create this ecosystem which just runs with German efficiency, this is where the real opportunities in this gaming industry exist. As I've alluded to, we're working with a number of different banks of which we've invested into to try and create a framework. This is the fiat framework, or the on-ramps and the on-ramps and the off-ramps. On top of this is the second layer, which is called the Lightning Network, which is probably, you'd call it version 3 of Bitcoin. The first version of Bitcoin did 8 transactions a second. It was slow, it was rudimentary, it was mind-blowing, but it was the first iteration of it. The third iteration on the Lightning Network, which is opening up channels between different parties and having atomic swaps, this is now at 60,000 transactions per second, which is getting to the level of what Visa and MasterCard are doing. Our concept is to put the digital representation of money in a non-custodial app on the third layer of this financial framework. Again, a very solid banking layer, using the Lightning Network, and then building a system for payments on top of that. Now, if we employ the concept of open banking, all of a sudden we can represent the money from your European bank account into the Coins.io wallet. And we can use that to make a payment to a merchant and back again. Or someone from Asia can upload Bitcoin and they can convert that across to a digital representation of Euro and make that deposit. I'm purely amazed at what WeChat and Alipay have done. The Chinese and the Southeast Asian, they've bypassed traditional banking, they've gone to mobile banking. 91% of the Chinese market is WeChat and Alipay now. And this is all scanning QR codes and moving money that way. If we can do the same with Coins.io, this truly revolutionises the whole payment industry. but we're not building on shaky foundations. We are, from the VC fund, investing, and we want banks in Asia, in Europe, in UK, in South America, in Africa. And there's our framework. There's our on-ramp, off-ramp. There's that single Hub88 API going out to a third party who can be a part of this. It's a very, very decentralized application, and it's something I'm very, very excited about building. The next problem I want to solve has been, we've got a lot of live dealers, live dealer players who love playing their baccarat, their blackjack and their roulette, their crazy time, the Monopoly. How do we give them that ultimate experience of being discreetly elegant and a boutique high roller environment? Macau's done it very well. Singapore have done it very well. Vegas has done it very well for years, but no one's actually merged those two together. We want to build that relationship between player and dealer so that they get a feeling of being this priceless MasterCard moment. You couldn't get this experience anywhere else. And they have this affiliation with the dealer, their favourite dealer. They can go and meet them and play in person with them, have their fine dining, have that VIP experience. And our goal is to build 8 of our Bombay clubs around the world to satisfy this, this concept for any casino in the world. In fact, if I can take it one step further, it is a true B2B land-based casino, because any of our partners who wish to take and use our software can rent, can use, can brand that casino as their own casino for a weekend. They can bring in 50 of their VIPs and put on an event for them, and then those VIPs, when they go home, they're playing with the same dealers and building that lock-in. So that is I don't think anyone's done a B2B casino before, but we want to push the boundary. It might fail, it might work. We're going to have a lot of fun trying it. I'm pretty sure it's going to work, but we're going to push the boundary. And again, that is where real innovation comes from. Bringing all this together, this ecosystem, as I've talked about, looking at small little snippets of how we improve the process behind our main B2C brands and creating these B2B products and companies, we need to put something together. And this is where our Yolo investments have come from. And I love making up the names for these different companies that we run. And Yolo is just so appropriate to our approach to business and my approach to business. Let's just do it. Let's just try it. Let's just make it happen. Let's try something different. Let's look at other industries. Let's look at the travel industry and understand what they're doing, where they've got efficiency, and how do we bring that into gaming. Let's not be lazy relying on deposit bonuses and reload bonuses. Let's think outside the box. Let's get the gaming industry up to the TikTok era, to the Instagram era. We're in 2020 now. The times have changed. But to bring all this back, with Yolo Investments, we've put together a number of funds, of which one of our funds is based on internal hackathons. So every year people are making new products. Internal employees are pitching me with new ideas. I love it. It's great. I've now got 450 people pitching me ideas every day. Now, not all of them will work, but you know what? We've got a management development program. One, you can learn the theory behind making a business. I give them a project and the goal, make $1 with this project. And if it's good, we'll put it into our fund. We'll put more resource and more money behind it, and we'll grow that valuation of that concept. All of a sudden, all the employees have a slice of Yolo, which is great. We're all there building the one ecosystem. We're all there refining the ecosystem. We're all there understanding where the puck's, the Gretzky, where the puck's going to be. That's where we need to be skating. But with the fund, it allows us to further increase our B2B network, whereby we're investing in 6 slot companies, DFS in India, an Australian bookmaker, fintech, payment systems in China, banks, insurance, travel agencies. It's a really, really exciting time that money is not the restricting factor. It's the desire to get off your bum and go and do something and understand what issue are we trying to solve. And if it's a big issue, how do we break it down into little sections and how do we solve each of them one by one? Again, we don't build Rome in one day. We look and carefully build it up that way. And in the end of the day, what we have with Yolo Investments, it's completely aligned with the CoinGaming ecosystem. We have our B2Cs, our B2Bs, our supporting products, all creating efficiency. And if we can get them working in harmony, if we can bring other partners into the fold, if we can take the products that we're building for ourselves. We've got a travel company, which was coming from an MDP program. It's on Slack because it was taking 14 hours for travel requests to be processed. This is ridiculous in 2020. Now, in Slack, you search your flights, you choose what you want, goes off to a manager for a request, goes into Jira for accounting, goes off to the bank with a pre-prepared invoice, goes off to our travel agents who book and make sure, and 24 hours before you fly, the boarding pass and a list of recommended restaurants nearby where you're going to be on your business trip with feedback from other employees is presented to you as your thing. 7 minutes. 14 hours, 7 minutes. But it takes time and resource and your dedication, and it's a different mindset to not just be happy with the status quo. And for me, that's what innovation is all about. This is what we're doing. We're having a lot of fun doing it, and this is what we will continue to keep doing and pushing forward. And I implore you all to do the same. Enjoy the conference, enjoy the speakers coming up, and good luck.